Hey everyone, so already day 12 of my 30-day ideas challenge. And here we are just after 6 p.m. on Wednesday night, hump day as they say. So what I was going to talk about tonight, and it was interesting because I wasn't really sure up until about maybe half an hour ago. And it was when we went for a walk. And it's interesting because I love going for walks. I have a bush behind me. And for me, it's very grounding. I'm an air sign, I'm a thinker, I'm in my head a lot. And of course, I'm researching. Hi, I'm researching, I'm learning. So for me, being out in nature and grounding is really, really key. But what was interesting is, so I was trying to be as open and present as possible. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. It's kind of, signs, symbols, synchronicities, and your intuition. And I wanted to just delve into it a little bit further because, some people don't really believe in those sorts of things. And I just want to sort of say that, of course, Lisa, hi, and Peter, hi, Peter. So, it's what you're open to and it's what you're present to. And that's a massive piece of it because most of us are, we're thinking about yesterday, we're thinking about the future, we're thinking about tomorrow, next month, next year. When am I going to be able to travel again? Oh, that'd be nice to be able to do that. Or, oh my gosh, it's almost Valentine's Day. What are we going to do? So it's like we're future living. Future living breeds anxiety. It breeds more fears, worries, fear of the unknown, all of that sort of stuff. Living in the past, however, is really just, breeding more depression and things like that. And what they say is most of us, we are living in the past or we're living in the future. And unfortunately, when we're living in this way of being, we're not open to the present moment. And that's what I want to talk about because when you're in the present moment, that is when you are open to, that is when you are open to receiving these signs and symbols and synchronicities and actually kind of being open to it and then actually kind of really intuitively seeing what it means for you. Because that's the other massive piece of it. Because so often, we will be given a sign so many times, but we don't even actually see it, or on some level we do, but then we don't go any deeper. And it's like, as they say, as long as we get these signs and symbols, and they can be subtle, but they can get stronger to get your attention, if that makes sense. So, how sometimes, people will get like a little niggle or something in their knee. It's fine. And then, it'll play up again and it's fine. And then, something all of a sudden they have, an injury, they're a big injury and they can't walk on it or they have to have surgery and it forces them to stop. And actually, hang on, what is going on here? And it's the same with some of these signs and symbols. So what I want to say with this as well is it means different things to different people. So, it's interesting. When I was walking, I often see white feathers. And for me, it's like when I see the feather, of course you think of birds. And with birds, of course, it's around the freedom. It's around, for me, soaring to new heights. It's also, spiritual. So, for me, it's almost like a sign that, where I'm going and what I've been thinking about, it's quite expansive for me and it's nourishing and there's a lot of my truth and, if that makes sense for me. It's the same with dreams. Quite often people will have the same reoccurring dream. Sometimes they'll, think about it on a deeper level. Other times they'll just dismiss it. And it's interesting because I've had a couple of dreams for many, many, many years. And I often say to people, take note of it. And what you can actually do is you can be more directional and intentional with it. You can, of course, before you go to bed, have like a dream journal there. You can actually write down a question that you want some answer, clarity, or guidance around. And then just be open. And then the minute you wake up, before you do anything, before you even go to the toilet, before you go and, clean your teeth or go and have a coffee or whatever, actually just write whatever you can remember of the dream. And then you can go back to it and look at it in its entirety, its totality, and sort of see, okay, well, what does it mean? And often remembering that things can be quite literal. So, one of the dreams that I was having was around, I was always being chased. I was always running away. And it's like, I wasn't sure. It was always kind of different scenarios. It was sometimes from my childhood. And even in that, you can say, well, what am I running away from in my childhood? Like, what am I not stopping and, listening to? What am I not hearing? What am I not, paying attention to? What am I not healing? And, it's like when I used to go to, and over the years, I've gone to psychic development classes, I've worked with energy healers, I've worked with medical intuitives, amongst all the other stuff that I've done. I mean, I did do 4 years nutritional medicine. I did do 4 years Western herbal medicine. I've got a commerce degree. Like, I've got the more science and things like that too, and more, method and structure. But I also bring a lot of this intuition and feeling into it more and more. It's kind of that dance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine that I spoke about yesterday. I mean, both are really important. We've got to get shit done. But when you can bring your intuition and higher wisdom, higher intelligence into it, I mean, man, what a powerhouse. So as I said, going back to these dreams, it's like when I actually kind of stop and, dig deeper and see what's sitting there under the surface, that's when you'll notice the dream will sort of stop, or it will start to change. And it's the same with, when I was having dreams about snakes. Of course, you can go online and have a little look on what they say that a snake might mean. And of course, it depends on, is the snake, is there other snakes? Is a snake slithering away, or whatever it is? They all have different meanings. And of course, look at it. But I want you to always run it through your own filter. It's the same with if you do, like if you look at a tarot card, or if you pull, whatever other cards, whatever other decks, always have a look at it and just kind of, sit with it and feel into it. Well, what does this mean to me? Because, it's like we're always going to get guidance and intuition and signs and symbols and synchronicities in ways that are going to mean something to us, because it's getting our attention. Because as we know, we all view the world, we all through our own filters, our own lens, our own, distortions in some, our own wounds in some cases, and our own, gifts as well. So, that's why it's like, see what it means for you. Because, if I find this and I see it, and then say I'm walking with Richard and he sees it, it's going to mean something different to him too. So it's like always just kind of really, and that's what I want to encourage you. It's like when you see these signs, maybe you're seeing 11:11 every day in the morning, maybe you're seeing, 2:22 every afternoon. Maybe you're always waking up at 3:33 in the morning. And of course, as I said, have a look online, see what it means. But I want you to really see, what does it mean to me? And you can even keep like a little bit of a journal, or it's like you can get, those A to Z in terms of like, it's little address books. But you could actually just write in there, like just say, for instance, I often see an ankh, the Egyptian ankh. And it's like, so you could put that under A, ankh. And whenever I see that, you think, well, Egypt, you think sort of, is it like ancient wisdom? Also, to me, it's kind of that, it's like a key, and it's like eternal life. It's eternal, it's immortal, it's, expansive, it's, truth, universal laws. And also when you look at it, it can mean also like a union, like the masculine and feminine. It can mean the heaven and earth. So, it can be the balance. And I've got a couple of, some Libra in my chart, and Libra is all about the peacemaker, peace, harmony, things like that. So anyway, that's what I just wanted to say. It's like, are you, living in the past, living in the future, thinking, or, are you allowing yourself to be in the present moment and be open to receiving some of these signs, these symbols, these synchronicities along the way, which is ways that you can kind of help, I guess, get some clarity or guidance in terms of, where you're going and what your purpose is, and, what you want help moving through, whatever it might be. Because quite often, we put a prayer out, we ask a question, but then we're not open to receiving the answer. And it's not going to necessarily come straight away. Sometimes it might, be very, very subtle. Sometimes it could be quite, profound and quite in your face, but it often isn't. Sometimes it can just be, all of a sudden you hear a song, but it's one particular line that stands out to you. And if you really think about what's on your mind and what's creating confusion or indecisiveness or whatever, maybe it's that one line that has a little message in there that really speaks to that question that you're wanting clarity around, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. I really do want to have a bath, because every night when it's a little bit cooler at the moment, I'm like, I'm going to have a bath. And then I, get busy and distracted and do some study, do some research. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's dinner time. So I'm going to go, and I will see you tomorrow. And we'll see what we talk about tomorrow. I'm thinking something more physical. Maybe we'll do gut health or something. So anyway, much love, and see you then. Bye.